Thanks to the population growth, there have been negative consequences on the environment, one of which is that the air quality is bad. Especially over the last week, there have been quite alarming levels of quality in the air here in Monterrey and the metropolitan area, of which we will go into detail below. Everyone, welcome here again to another edition of the Newsday. It's a pleasure to having you here today. So, we're gonna talk about a topic that is one of the most important topics of the week here in Monterrey and its metropolitan area. That is the air quality. But at the beginning of the video, we're gonna talk about the air pollution, the causes and the effects. Then we're gonna talk about the problem here in Monterrey. So, let's start with it. We're gonna start to talk about the air pollution, but what is it? The air pollution is a mixture of solid particles and gases that are in the air. These pollutants can be emitted by the cars, the chemical from the factories, dust, the pollen and mold spore may be suspended in the air. But there is another gases that are like the ozone, that is the gas that is in major part in the air pollution in the cities. And this is in general terms what is the air pollution. So we're gonna start to talk about the causes in specific of the air pollution. There are so many causes of the air pollution. The first one is the vehicle exhaust fumes. The number one sources of air pollution in cities environment is vehicle exhaust fumes, which happen to release high amount of carbon monoxide. The second one is the fossil fuel-based power plants. Chemicals like sulfur dioxide are released during the burning process, which travel straight into the atmosphere. This type of pollutants react with the water molecules to yield something called acid rain. Exhaust from industry plants and factories is the third cause. Like exhaust being released from vehicles, heavier machines located inside big factories and industry plants also emit pollutants into the air. Industrial plants can be found pretty much everywhere in the world, so the spending of air pollution is basically global. The fourth one is the construction of agricultural activities. Switching the focus to agricultural activities, ammonia is a frequent byproduct that just so happens to be one of the most dangerous gases in our environment. There are also plenty of nasty chemicals that get placed into the atmosphere from pesticides and fertilizers, which are being sourced and increasing higher rates. The fifth one is the natural causes. When people think pollution, they almost always blame to another people, but let's not forget about the earth. That is one of the biggest polluters itself though. Volcanoes, forest fires, and dust storms are natural-born events that dump massive amounts of air pollution into the environment. And the last one is the household activities. Common household chemical, notably bleach, without proper ventilation is a primary source in indoor pollution. Smoking tobacco while cigarettes and cigars are released toxic pollutions in the air. But now, knowing the causes, we're gonna start to talk about the effects with Aldo Pardo.
Hello, my name is Aldo Maciel Pardo Cardenas, and I'm here to talk to you about the effects that air pollution has in us and in the environment. So there are many types of effects the air pollution can cause. For one, there is of course the human health. That is the factor to consider. But we're going to talk about it later. As one main topic of the effect that this causes is the accelerated global warming, which air pollution directly accelerates the global warming that happens by depleting the ozone layer. The global warming refers to the increased temperatures continues to experience. So basically this talks to us about like how we are accelerating this process. Another one is the human respiratory and heart concerns, which of course when you are breathing an air that is polluted, of course it will have a lot of causes to it. So for example, you can have a heart attack after a while of breathing in a place in which is very polluted. Of course, you will have lung problems and etc. Another one and a big cause is the wildfire engagement. Because most diseases and conditions that humans are susceptible to, animals are as well, or maybe they can be more. So the air pollution has many of the same issues that the humans face. Another one is the acid rain, which all of us know that when the air pollution is with sulfur and nitrogen oxides are released into sky to fuel burning, it creates a phenomenon known as acid rain, which is water with very high pH and high in the atmosphere combines with these chemicals and becomes acidic in nature. So when it scars the ground, this gives us a normal rainfall. The acid rain has been known to cause harm to humans and animals alike and even damage crops. So basically this will affect us in a way that if there is acid rain, it will affect the crops that we need to eat. So for example, if you go to the HB, maybe the crops from that season will not be too good as you will hope to. And that's all of my part. Thank you for listening. And those were the effects that the air pollution in Monterrey has in us and in the environment.
Knowing what are the causes of air pollution and the effects of being exposed to poor quality air, we're not going to enter into the main issue, which is poor air quality in our metropolitan area, with Jose Placeres.
Now we are going to talk about the problem of air quality here in Monterrey and the metropolitan area. The Ministry of Sustainable Development reports that the alert phase of the response program to atmospheric contingents is activated for high concentrations of particles in the metropolitan area of Monterrey, indicating poor air quality. Currently, there are atmospheric stability conditions, very low wind speeds and high relative humidity above 60%. As a preamble to the call from number 17 that is expected to enter our state on Saturday, November 28th. The above, together with the local emissions generated by fixed sources like industry, mobile sources like vehicles, and by construction activities, works in general, and the circulations of vehicles on underpaved roads, result in an increase in the concentrations of minor particles to 10 micrometers. So, the air quality level bad has been reached according to the Air and Health Index.
Our hypothesis states that in order to improve the quality of the air, we should produce and consume zero waste products and with that achieve the substitution of disposable products. Because for the production of ecological products, the use of chemical elements that may harm the environment is avoided. You can not only find these ecological products in food, but also in cleaning, fashion, and cosmetics. Some examples of alternatives are the use of water bottles instead of the plastic ones, reusable shopping and grocery bags instead of the ones that they give us in the supermarket, compost bins, compostable bags, reusable straws, reusable kitchen towels, cloths, and napkins. You can also avoid shopping from fast fashion companies and avoid the use of solvents and oil-based paint. The implementation of these alternatives helps the reduction of the volume of the waste and garbage generated, and also among the environmental benefits, we find a reduction in the soil waste, an increase in soil quality, and a reduction in the emission of the greenhouse gases by also helping the climate to stabilize and improving the air quality.
We did a survey to find out the opinion of the people of Monterrey about the issue, and these were the results. We asked them to comment on their opinion about the pollution in Monterrey, and they all responded we were in bad shape. On this question, everyone agreed that they want better air quality for obvious reasons. In the next question, we see how they are not only aware of the problem, but they are also taking measures to help improve the situation. Here we can see that approximately 57% of the people have not participated in some activities to help to the environment, despite wanting an improvement in the situation. And in the last question, everyone agreed that they want Monterrey and the metropolitan area to have a change for better. In conclusion, we have to take the initiative to be in better conditions. We have to change our bad habits. As mentioned by Jimena, we have to think of sustainable alternatives to improve air quality. With this, we have reached the end. Thank you for joining us, and if you want to stay informed, follow us in our social networks. This was the News Day.